Okay, part 2 of this whole idea of why feeling good is so important. So in part 1, and if you did not watch part 1, please do it. Please do it now, because you can't plug into the quantum field unless you unplug from the chaos. It's like third dimensional, 3D. This is where we have physical bodies, and we have to address the physical part of us. The physical part of us is our biochemical beings, right? We always say, well, we're spiritual beings having physical experience, or physical beings having a spiritual experience. Doesn't matter. We're three-dimensional humans that absolutely have to address the way that we feel on a chemical scale. So we've done that. That was part 1. If you watch part 1, great. Part 2. Now that we have unplugged from the chaos and we've gotten the file cabinet clear and we've grounded, now we get to plug in. We get to plug into the quantum field. And how do we plug into the quantum field? It is so easy that people doubt it. It is so easy that people are like, yeah, Tamara, it's not that easy. And I am sitting here as someone who has been researching for 25 years, doing everything I can, paying tens of thousands of dollars for programs and coaches and training, from radionics and science to spirituality to yoga to metaphysics to obviously quantum physics, neuroscience, epigenetics. I have studied all of this, all of the healing modalities. And I'm not saying any of those are bad, and they've all helped me, but at the end of the day, it's really about feeling good. And remember, part 1 is essential, because if you don't unplug from what makes you feel bad, you're never going to manage feeling good, ever. It's always making the subconscious buffs go in the wrong direction. So let's talk about feeling good and why it works. The reason feeling good works is because when you are at a feel good frequency, you are turning on the emotions of joy and gratitude and happiness. When you're really turning those on, you guys, you're going to be an energetic match for the things that you want. So of course, in this video, we're not going to the great extent to talk about meditation and using your multisensory faculties, but I don't want to leave you hanging. So what I'm saying is, you're going to be thinking about and focusing on the outcomes you want. You got to have a visual. You've got to give your subconscious mind direction. And that will be through the images that you hold and the choices that you make. But that is nothing if you don't use the fuel of your feelings, of your positive emotions. And I'm going to tell you, it's just as important biochemically as it is spiritually and metaphysically. You can't get there if the chemistry in this body is full of stress. Can't make it any more clear than that. So now that we've got this stress out of our body, which is number 1, and when my book comes out, the new book, the super conscious solution, SOUL, I like that. When that happens, you've got to connect. Get rid of all that. Now you can connect. Now you have this, like, it's like speed dial, man. It's like, forget cable, it's like wireless. We're like, now turn them on. Turn on those emotions. Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. Feel those emotions. You know, people think that they react to you. You have to understand that people want to get all spiritual and metaphysical about the law of attraction, manifestation. Awesome. I like that too. But you can't deny the fact that you are a biochemical, biological human being. And you cannot manifest, you cannot turn on your manifestation muscle if you're filled up with stress. And, people ask me, they're like, well, how can I be in a good mood when this is going on? You have to unplug from that, and you have to plug into this, even if this is just in your imagination. In the quantum field, it's already happened. You already are the version of you who's beautiful and slim and strong and rich and successful and famous. That version of you already exists in the quantum field. And remember, the quantum field is 99.9%. This matter is only 0.0001%. No, 0.00001%. So this, as real as it feels, because all we have to interpret things with is our senses, unless we're plugged in. Disconnect from this, plug in. Okay, and then we turn on the feel-good muscles, or the feel-good feelings. People think they can't do it. Yeah, you can. Just look at me right now and just think about joy, happiness. You can have anything you want. Let's get excited. Think about Christmas morning. Think about winning the lottery. Think about running in a field full of flowers and sunshine on your back. Think about dipping your toes in the ocean. Think about playing with a puppy or a kitty or a baby. Think about holding on to someone you love. You don't need external stimuli to invoke internal joy. And I'm telling you, the law of attraction, manifestation, intention work, it all stems from our ability to plug in and to cultivate emotions of gratitude, joy, happiness. Do you get that? So important. And when we do that, we are raising our vibration to the feel-good frequency. And when we do that, it's a free-for-all. Everyone thinks that they need to change their beliefs in order to create the business they want or the life they want. You do not have to change your beliefs. You simply have to decide what you want and focus on having it with the feel-good emotions that go with it. And everyone's like, no, but I am someone who did that. I got this. No, it all boils down to this. Unplug, plug, feel good. And no, you're not going to turn around and say, but it's still here. I'm not rich yet. You got to stop that. You got to stay unplugged from it. Take care of the business you got to take care of, but you got to plug in and you got to stay plugged into this. You are on this stuff out here that you don't want to deal with or that you don't like. Keep a very thin line. Keep yourself tethered to it because you got to pay your bills. You got to deal with the call. You got to, get over that mad client. But have it such a thin connection that you're only doing what you need to do. But that connection, that's a freaking rope, baby. That's like a heavy duty, like the thing they use when they're in space to connect them to the craft, right? That's a heavy duty line right there. And then you turn on your emotions. You're like, yes, so exciting. And when you do that, number one, you wash out the stress hormones. Number two, you're flooding your body with the happy hormones. And number three, you're giving a sign to the universe that you are no longer in resistance, that you are an open container. You are in receivership. And that is the word that I really want you to take with you today, receivership. You cannot be in receivership and in resistance at the same time. You can resist or you can receive. To ask for millions of dollars with a closed fist, the money's coming down and you don't have a single dollar of it. If you are in receivership and money floats down, you can grab it. That's exactly how it works. And no matter how much science I've studied, it doesn't get any simpler than that. It doesn't matter if you're reading the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, or all the quantum physics books in the world. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Unplug, plug, feel good frequency with the image of what you want and move towards it. Take some action, man. Start moving. Doesn't have to be big action, but some kind of action. Okay, so hopefully you found that helpful. Check out the links below if you want to chat and have a supersonic session with me. And I'm telling you, it can really, really take you to the next level, wherever you're at. Okay, talk soon.